Okay, we're going again. Thanks, Jose. All right. Whew. Okay. Man, I'm stressed out. Okay, so we need the spleen to function in helping us filter and destroy the white blood cells. But we also need that spleen because one of the things that it's going to have is macrophages. Macrophage, a big eating cell, a big cell that will eat. Okay, so what that'll do is that'll help to remove dead cell parts, it'll help destroy bacteria. We're going to see that therefore what it'll do is it'll help with the immune system and anything that might be coming through that organ, okay, to help kill it, all right, so that we can get this filtration of the blood. Now, one of the things about the spleen is it can be an area for blood storage, all right? In the case of hemorrhaging, if a person is hemorrhaging, the spleen can, because it's got so much blood that's in this organ, it can be used for circulation at the time of a hemorrhage. All right, now hemorrhage goes on too long, well, that's not going to continue to be able to store it. Okay, so in this system that we have, how is our body going to take these parts of the system and how is it going to help us get a defense against infection? Well, to say that this is interesting is an understatement. Anything that we can be exposed to that's considered to be a pathogen. Is everybody familiar with the term pathogen? Now, remember, my job in this course is to show you what's the norm, okay? So that when you get into your field or you get into your programs and you begin to learn the pathology of that chosen program, you've got something to compare it to, okay? So what I'm trying to show you is the norm for everything, and then this way you're prepared for the pathology portion that you'll be studying. So a pathogen, anything that might cause the body to have an infection. Pathogens could be a disease-causing agent, a bacteria, a virus, microorganism, spores. I was really worried about that this weekend. I was out there working in my yard. I think on Sunday I spent like 6 hours. My yard was a jungle, okay? I kid you not, all right? And I was out there working in the yard, and I was out there yesterday working in it. Well, Sunday, I had this one area that's over here, and you know how like, I guess it's the dandelions that after they come up in bloom, they get the little white poofy thing that you make a wish and you blow it, okay? Well, this area, all right, that was over here on this side of my driveway was full of those things. And I mean, why the people, anyway. So I get out there and I'm like, okay, I gotta clean this up, all right? So I'm out there with an area that's probably from here to probably just behind Caitlin over to the wall. And that's how big of an area I had to clean up. And I mean, it was just full of these spores. And I'm out there ripping them up, ripping them out the ground and trying to get it all cleaned up. Well, later on in the day, I was kind of like, oh man, you know, I got a little bit of a hurt right here in my chest, you know. And so my roommate, who's a nurse, you know, I told her, I said, okay, now look, I said, if I happen to pass out later this evening, or if I'm not up in the morning when you get up, because, you know, I watch all these shows, like, you know, Discovery Life and House. Okay, I love my House. Okay, do y'all know who House is? Dr. House? Okay, and so I'm like thinking, oh no, I got some of these spores or maybe some kind of fungus or something, you know, down in my lungs, and oh God, it's going to take over, and I'm going to need that medicine. Oh, you know, that's the kind of thing that was kind of like going through my head, you know. And so I'm thinking, all right, I need to let somebody know, because, you know, I got to make sure somebody takes care of my dog. All right, you know, I got to make sure my dog gets to my sister. And I told her, I said, all right, so if I'm, you know, if something happens, you'll be sure to tell 911 what I'd been working in over here throughout the day. And I said, I gave her my sister's name, and I said, that's my sister and my phone. Call her, tell her she needs to come get Tootsie Roll, you know. And so she's like standing there looking at me, and I'm like, you think I'm joking, right? She said, are you serious? And, yeah, I'm serious. You know? I said, don't worry about it. You know, the house.
The headline will be weeds. Pulling weeds kills woman.
I told her, I said, you know, if something happens, be sure to put on my gravestone, killed by my yard work. I mean, you know, but it was because everything, you know, I was breathing in a lot of stuff, and I know what I could be exposed to out there. So anyway, I was thinking about these pathogens. Now, I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know, all right, I'm thinking about these pathogens, but one thing that I tend to pride myself on is I don't ever get a cold. I never get the flu, okay? And I'm thinking, I think my immune system's pretty good, okay? And so, you know, knock on wood, okay? And I'm thinking, all right, well, I do know that if I did get exposed to a fungus or a spore, then hopefully my body can handle it and take care of it, all right? So it's now Tuesday. I feel like if there was something, I would know it by now. So we're going to think that I'm good to go. Okay, that's what we're going to go with. So when we talk about this defense mechanism, we're going to say that in our defenses, we have either innate defenses or adaptive defenses. I think I've mentioned that we have 3 lines of defense. We have 3 lines of defense. Write it down. We have 3 lines of defense. The innate defenses are our first and second line of defense. Adaptive is third line of defense. What does this mean? What am I trying to tell you? The innate defenses function the same way every time, regardless of the pathogen. They function the same way every time, regardless of the pathogen or how many times you've been exposed to it. Adaptive defenses, which is our third line of defense. This one becomes very precise, very specific. The third line, the adaptive, this is what we know as immunity. It is going to target a specific pathogen and that specific pathogen only. So when I say it becomes very specific, it's very specific. This is the immunity that will be carried out by the specialized lymphocytes. Which cells are they?
T cells.
T cells, B cells. So this is carried out by, why do I say specialized lymphocytes?
Because they're made to do specific, treat specific pathogens.
They will be made to fight a specific pathogen. Note my terminology. What did I just say?
Fight specific pathogens.
What else did I say?
They were made
They will be made to fight a specific pathogen. That is the key phrase. They will be made. Okay? The goal is to make sure we keep them attacking something that's a true pathogen, not our body itself. That becomes the goal. All right? So if we look at these lines of defense, the innate defenses, the first and the second lines, okay, they give us a defense against a wide range of pathogens, okay? It could be resistance to a certain disease that's found in a particular species. Not all organisms are going to be like animals. We're in the animal family, right? There are other animals in the animal family, other species, right? They get sick with stuff that we don't, and vice versa. It could be the mechanical barrier. Well, what is it that happens for us mechanically? The skin. The skin becomes important. What about the chemicals? Well, for us, okay, we're going to find that we produce quite a few chemicals that will try to fight the pathogen before we have to incorporate the third line of defense. Because when we incorporate that third line of defense, that's pretty much saying, I've lost the war, we need some help. Okay?